hunters this week. No one's ever going to talk first but me, so it's always going to be me, probably. Shockingly, it would appear that what we all kind of thought would make a good build is very, very close to the same build. So,
with slight difference in modification.
yeah, there's some slight differences. Mine is a 22-0-29 hunter, which means I put 22 points into Beast Mastery, nothing in Marksman, and 29 into Survival.
Mine is also 22-0-29. Same spread.
As well as mine, 22-0-29.
Which is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take wing clip. Yeah, I did.
All right, so
basically what that means is we all went fairly deep into Beast Mastery to get some of the awesome stuff there. I went deep enough to get Spirit Bond because it's legendary.
Spirit.
I also made sure that my pet was tough. You know what I mean? So, because I wanted to be able to, survive. It's crazy. It's crazy talk, but
yeah, great talk.
and a little bit of mobility. I got a little bit of mobility on mine as well.
So you have the aspect of the cheetah?
Yeah, I got aspect of the cheetah and the
Pathfinding.
bestial swiftness.
Yeah. I did not.
So
I went just far enough into Beast Mastery to get Spirit Bond. I got some stuff to make my pet a little tougher because it's Beast Mastery. But I also have improved aspect of the monkey, which increases the dodge bonus of aspect of the monkey by 5%, up from like 7%, some weird number. So I'm just dodging more often.
which is good because since we're going so heavily in survival, means we're planning on standing in the kill box more than doing range damage.
Yeah, more often than
In vanilla World of Warcraft, hunters could be either.
yeah.
You could either stand in the kill box and fight with weapons or do ranged. It wasn't like it is now where you had to choose one or the other. And also, you'll find, if you don't know, that ranged weapons have a specific range that they work in.
Mm-hmm.
If you're too far away, it doesn't work. If you're too close, they don't work.
A lot like
So-
charge for warriors.
And then, but there's a weird dead zone where you're too close for your ranged weapons to work, but you're too far away for melee weapons to hit. So you've got to be able to close that gap as well.
Yeah.
Those are some things that, isn't the way it is in retail current
Yeah.
World of Warcraft. So,
What did you get for Beastmaster?
so
What do you mean? The
Well,
top tier?
Yeah, for the top tier.
I got endurance training.
I got
which
endurance training too.
increases the health of your pet by 15%.
Yeah,
As did I.
I went 5 deep there.
And nothing in improved aspect of the hawk.
I got nothing
because
either.
Aspect of the hawk only increases ranged attack power, which planning on being mostly in
Melee.
the kill box melee, so ranged attack power is only going to benefit like 10% of the time when I need to put a dot on,
A dot or to pull.
or to pull, or concussive shot to run the hell away.
Yeah, concussive shot's a good one for some crowd control. And then on second tier, I went thick hide and improved revive.
Yeah, me too.
Thick hide basically gives your pet way more armor, and revive,
Yeah.
improved revive, it revives your pet after it's been killed with higher health points and stuff like that, I think.
And
Right?
reduces the cost. It reduces the cast time.
Yes,
reduces
the mana cost.
and increases the health that your pet comes back with.
Yeah.
And then he didn't get it, but you got it, which was aspect of the monkey, which I also
didn't
got.
get that.
Yeah.
And then I actually got the whole row. I got improved Eyes of the Beast, Because my plan of thought for it is it increases the time you use it for by 60 seconds. So it's a whole minute that you get to control your pet. My thought process is having a stealth cat and using it to run up and down the Warsong Gulch Tower or tunnel, you know, when you're in the battleground. So it's stealth, so I can control it for, I think it's 2 minutes now. So I can just use it as pretty much as a ward. In League of Legends terms, you pretty much are using it as...
This isn't that.
No, I'm saying as vision control. You can control vision, which means...
You also have Eyes of the Hawk, which allows you to just see over there.
But only outside. This allows you to use the pet, which you can use anywhere.
That makes sense.
Okay. And that's always fun, running around as your pet.
I didn't get none of that.
Neither did I.
The dodge, the aspect of the monkey, improved aspect of the monkey, totally worth getting. Increased dodge, obviously, as we've talked about in other videos, it increases the chance that you're going to dodge getting hit.
Yeah, with any class that has agility as one of their primary stats,
Which these guys do.
just gives dodge. The higher your agility, the higher your dodge. Any other kind of outside dodge buff is going to be awesome.
And these aspects are like a permanent buff.
Yes.
Yeah, like
You can turn them on and they're just on.
It's like the...
Is it like that now?
No.
No,
it's
There are
weird.
so many second...
they're weird
buff.
cooldowns now.
Yeah, they're weird cooldown buffs. And these aren't. These are full on. Once you turn it on, it's on until you die.
It's similar to
So.
the old Paladin auras.
Yeah.
But just for your character.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No,
Except for aspect of the pack. That affects everyone in your group.
Yeah, and True Shot Aura, which is at the bottom of Marksman, which we don't have anyway.
Shot.
It's a huge buff that gives 50 attack power for 30 minutes. Anybody within 45 yards.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with Marksman. In fact, I think Marksman was pretty tough back in vanilla. I don't know because I never played Marksman.
Me neither.
Typically I would go. In the old days, I would go all the way to Bestial Wrath, which is your top tier
Beast
talent
Mastery.
in Beast Mastery, and then have a couple of things in Marksman, and then the rest of it was all piled into Survival. The couple of things I'd have in Marksman where I usually had improved Concussion Shot and improved Hunter's Mark. Those were the two I almost always would get in there because they're worth having.
Yeah.
Totally worth having, especially if you're going to spend much time shooting. Again, I'm not planning on spending that much time shooting. I want to try to run this as a more or less. It's not going to be 100% melee, but I'm trying to get 85, 90%, maybe something in that neighborhood, if it's feasible, and if not,
I'm doing it anyway.
And then I got Unleashed Fury, which increases the pet's damage from Beast Mastery, and I also got improved Men Pet, which that's actually going to be super important.
Yeah.
Because it increases the spell's chance to cleanse one curse, disease, magic, or poison effect from your pet, which is pretty awesome.
With each time that the heal actually ticks, it's a little hot that you throw on your pet, so each heal over time has a 50% chance to remove one of those things.
Yeah.
And it takes like 12 times. Enough times to where...
It's enough times that 90%, probably 90% of the time or better, the way it used to work is if they had a curse, or if they had a disease, or if they had a poison, or whatever,
some
it
kind
would
of
go
thing.
away.
Yeah, it would go away.
So, did you guys both take Deflection in
In Survival?
Survival? It's
I did.
first tier?
Yeah.
I went deflection all the way down to counterattack.
No,
That's not
deflection,
deflection.
not deterrence. Top one.
Oh, the parry.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's called Deflection. It's technically parry. Increases your parry. Yeah, I may rethink my Beast Mastery and get Aspect of the Monkey. 5. Ooh.
It's a lot to give up.
I don't know if I would be giving that up.
Yeah.
Because you can actually, there was parry. You could get parry on weapons and gear and stuff. And there may have been
Trinkets.
well, I was going to say enchants back in the day that would increase parry
And dodge.
Yeah. I got parry or deflection in
Survival.
survival because I wasn't going to increase my dodge, so I thought, well, I better have that parry. I better have some of that stuff going for me.
And I have both because both.
Oh yeah, as we've said in other videos,
If you're gonna
high dodge, high parry,
if you're gonna do it,
can mitigate a lot of incoming damage.
Yeah.
And we all know that mitigating incoming damage keeps you not dead. And then on that first tier for survival, I also got all the talents on that. So I took the
Monster slaying and human slaying.
monster slaying and humanoid slaying. Yeah.
I only took humanoid slaying because I PvP.
Well, I'm gonna PvP too, but you're also gonna
you can't avoid killing
anything that helps
giants
you.
and dragonkin.
Yeah, you can't. You're just flat gonna run into all that junk. And so if you can kill that stuff quicker, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Deflection is the only one that I got from that top tier. I figured if I have
Nothing wrong with that.
lightning reflexes as well as killer instinct, that those two, it's the head.
Dodge one at the bottom of.
Did you go? So you got all 5 of those?
I only had enough to put 4 in.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I went all the way to lightning reflexes, or 4 deep in lightning reflexes.
But yeah, so because then killer instinct gives you critical strike chance
Yeah.
of all your attacks by 3%. So I figured that with that plus the additional agility, I wouldn't need to.
Did you guys both get deterrence and
Counterattack?
Yes.
I did actually, yeah.
Because there will be moments in time where you will fight a warrior, a rogue, a paladin,
Yeah.
or even another hunter melee. Because you will run out of arrows or bullets.
Oh.
Yeah, if you don't know about that, if by chance you don't know about that, you'll have to carry your own ammunition for your whatever firearm you have.
Yeah.
Or whatever ranged weapon you have, whether it be a bow, you have to carry arrows. Whether if it's a gun, you got to carry
Bullets.
shots. I think they're called shot.
Little pellets.
They're like little stone pellets or
some sort of that.
and they eat up bag space.
Yeah, you either have to buy
Give
a
a
bag
quiver
space
or
or buy
pouch.
a ammo bag.
Now the ammo bags and the quiver, because you have a quiver for arrows and an ammo bag for shot for your rifles or your guns.
Yeah.
They, depending on the quality of them, would give you a ranged bonus. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was plus like 10% to your ranged attacks power or attacks. I think it was attack speed.
A lot of it was speed because reloading.
I remember
I think it was speed because they figured quiver, draw arrow quicker.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
the war. Well, what was the 40-man battlegrounds?
Alteric Valley.
Alteric Valley. They had the best quiver and ammo pouch because it was attack speed, or the whatever you said, the speed,
Attack speed.
and plus 10% range added onto your attack range.
So you're further away.
Yeah, that's nice.
It was the best PvP quiver because you could stay further away.
Yeah. They also had Alteric Valley also had really good ammunition, arrows and shot.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there's some pretty good.
Speaking of all that,
Crossbows.
if you have a bow and you got a pile of arrows, and then you find a really good gun, you got to trade out everything. You got to get an ammo pouch instead of a quiver, and
Or you eat up one of your regular bag slots.
or that for bullets
Yep.
instead, because you can't shoot arrows out of a gun.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how that was. It was good times.
yeah, and each
And it always was a bummer when you came across one that was way better and you didn't have that ammunition because you're sitting there going, "Aww." And it happened. I remember it happened to me quite a bit.
me too. It was sad.
So, and then what else? I also took Savage Strikes,
Me too.
increasing critical strike of Raptor and Mongoose Bite. Raptor Strike and Mongoose Bite. I thought that was a good one. If you're-
20%. Yeah,
Which is a lot.
that's a whole lot.
I mean,
That's those. If you have a high enough crit, you're going to be critting with Raptor Strike and Mongoose Bite almost every single time. Which, that's always good.
yeah. And then
Did any of you take Clever Traps?
Clever Traps, Trap Mastery. I did not.
Which one?
That's a good one though, especially if you're going to PvP.
Yeah, I took it.
I think that's a good one if you're going to PvP.
It increases the duration of freezing and frost traps by 30%, and the damage of immolation and explosive traps by 30% again, which is nice.
Which is real nice.
Yeah.
I only put a point in it, so
I did
it's
not. Did you
15%
guys-
for me.
Did you guys take, I took all of Survivalist, so I got the full extra 10% health.
Yeah, I only got
I thought that was totally worth having.
4%.
Same,
And then what about
all 5.
Sure-footed? I took Sure-footed too. Increasing your hit chance by 3% and the chance movement impairing effects will be resisted by an additional 15%.
I did not.
I thought that was a good one, especially if you're going to be standing in the kill box, because the last thing you want to do is get rooted in the kill box, and it can happen.
Or, yeah, and higher hit chance,
So-
the less often you're missing.
Yeah.
That's always good, too.
No,
But I might have to rethink some things to get that.
I took improved feign death too. Which,
Same.
if you're planning on PvPing, that's not really that big a deal because players are actually smart enough to know, hey, that guy's not really dead, and they keep attacking you while you're laying on the ground.
Unless you do it in a bush. I have done it in the middle of Warsan Ghosh, right into the bush. I jump into the bush, feign death, and it does the sound, the animation, and they move on.
If you're getting attacked enough,
I guess if you're that smart, I was never that smart.
if you're getting attacked enough and your health is already really, really low, and you feign death, sometimes they'll think, oh, you're dead now, and they move on.
It's the pets that
It's
get
the
you.
pet that gives you away. If they,
Warlock or other hunters,
yeah,
their pets will give you away because they'll just keep attacking because they
or your pets.
Or
sometimes your pets can give it away that you're still alive because your pet's not gone now.
which means sometimes you have to press the dismiss button by clicking their face.
Yeah.
And
Just don't feign death and
Just don't feign death
unless your pet's dead
Unless-
and you're gonna die.
Unless you're really confident you can get away with it, don't do it.
Yeah. Well, in PvP.
Yes.
Out in the
I
world
mean,
and in some dungeons it can work out okay, but
Yeah.
I do mean okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I took that because it appears that I'm not planning on doing much
Much PvP.
PvP with this build. I'd have to shift stuff around because in order for me to PvP, I'd probably get rid of the Dragonkin 3 points, and because I'd want points in improved aspect of the monkey, at least a few, so you can get that dodge, and then with the deterrence, you know, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, that's
If
such
you
a
can
good
pop
one.
that if you're in trouble, and then your dodge and your parry goes way up. 25% for 10 seconds is a lot.
That's a
increased.
lot.
To
Yeah.
get an extra 25%, that's a lot.
If
So-
all you have is the 5% parry from deflection, that's going to be a 30% chance to parry attacks. That's high. That's a lot. And then from deterrence, you go down into counterattack. A strike that becomes active after parrying an opponent's attack. This attack deals 40 damage and immobilizes the target for 5 seconds. Counterattack cannot be blocked, dodged, or parried.
Yeah.
So it's a guaranteed hit, unless you miss, because it doesn't say it can't miss. Unless you miss, it's a guaranteed hit to immobilize people.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Riposte from
riposte from roast.
Yeah.
Similar kind of a deal, similar kind of a setup.
Or revenge with
Except
the warriors.
this one can only be triggered after you've already activated deterrence. So you have to have deterrence up in order to make that work, don't you?
Yes.
It's not what it says.
No.
Am I?
No,
All
no.
it says
The
is
way
you
it
have
works.
all it says is you have to parry.
So both having it up increases your parry chance. So
So it's more likely
So
to
it's more
activate
likely to-
during
yes.
the deterrence.
It doesn't have
Okay.
to be with deterrence,
Alright.
but it's,
All right.
But as Jonah was saying, with the 5% from deflection, as well as deterrence, you are standing at 30% parry.
Yeah.
You're more than likely going to parry a few melee
or
hits.
dodge. Or parry and dodge by 25%. That's a lot. That's a lot of dodge and parry.
Yeah, I agree. That's all great. I like all that. I'm hoping. I don't know. I'll have to look. I didn't look.
Did you guys go for trap mastery?
I did
I
not.
did not.
I did.
Which again, for
Yeah.
PvP, that makes a lot of sense. 'Cause
It does.
It makes it harder for them to resist it.
yeah, and you took the other one too, right? The
He
clever
put one
traps.
point into
I
there,
put
yeah.
1 point into it. But I also have the one above it, entrapment as well, which gives your immolation trap, frost trap, and explosive trap a 25% chance to entrap the target, preventing them from moving for 5 seconds.
So it's got a 25% chance.
I'm kind of my whole thought process.
How many of those did you get?
I put all 5 points into it.
See, that's not a bad idea because
No, it's not.
then even if you drop a damage trap,
Yeah.
there's a chance that it's going to immobilize it for 5 seconds. That's a good talent.
And there's a 10% chance with trap mastery for them to not resist it. And my whole thought process is, well, I don't plan on fighting warriors. I don't plan on fighting paladins. I pretty much plan on fighting other hunters, other rogues, and cloth wearers mostly.
That's weird. You said the same thing when you talked about rogues. Which leads me to believe that you're going to be running from some of your opponents.
A few of them,
And a few of them you're not going to be able to get away from.
no.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
warriors and paladins, especially paladins, with their ability to shut down with the Hammer of Justice, it's very hard to get away from
You'd
that.
be better off just fighting everyone and hoping for the best.
We didn't do this, but I think we'll go ahead and make a spec. We'll decide on a decent spec. Because I'm looking at this thinking, the other thing you could do is keep more or less the way we've got our
Beastmaster?
Beast Mastery set up and then shift all these points into Marksman. Because you can get pretty down, you can get a lot of points into here, right? And there's some really good ones. Because there's one that will reduce the mana cost of all your shots, because all your shots cost mana.
Yep, all
Every
your
single
shots
range
and
shot
things.
costs mana.
Yep.
And then, like,
And if you're able to get to the ranged weapon specialization, especially if you're playing a dwarf or a troll, back in the day when you had gun or bow specialization,
yeah, that's a big deal. That's a lot of help.
That's a lot of extra damage just from two
Potentially
passes.
a lot of extra damage.
Yeah.
And then, if you worked down the marksman tree but didn't get any extra shots, just took the shots that you're already going to have, so like
Just improve
arcane
ones.
shot and just improve all those to the maximum amount that you could, again, trying to get down into range specialization, especially if you could possibly get there and put all 5 in there. I don't think you'll be able to.
Not with...
Because you've got to be able to have 25 points already, which is only going to leave you 4 out of 29.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Still.
willing to sacrifice a point in Beastmaster.
Beastmastery,
Which,
No.
No, thank you.
Because sacrificing one of those means you have to get rid of one of your spirit bond.
Yes.
And that's silly.
or something up high.
Well,
Can't.
You can't.
No, you can't. Because
I don't think you
You
can.
need all of these in order to even get Spirit Bond. So you can't sacrifice. Once you have 2 points in the Spirit Bond, you can't take anything else out of those.
You've got to have that many points. Oh, yeah. Because you got to have 20 points to get 2 here.
Yeah.
So that's your 20, and then you put 2 into the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you won't be able to do that.
Yeah, and you
But we can play with it.
yeah.
But I think we may put together a spec like that and add that to like we've been doing on the other videos where it just pops up and you can see it.
Yeah.
Because that would probably be a really strong spec as well, where you
Especially
stay
if you play a dwarf.
clear, or a troll,
Or a troll.
Yeah.
where you stay clear of the kill box all the way and just stay in ranged and do nothing but range damage.
Yeah.
You know, and that would be one where you'd want your what's it called? The one that throws you, that you jump back out of.
Disengage.
They won't have that.
No.
Nope.
That's
That
not until way
was
later.
a Burning Crusade ability.
Oh, that's not a.
That wasn't
oh.
until like Cataclysm.
I thought it was right. Burning Crusade.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that I never ever. Truthfully, I never ever used it. Ever. Even when I had it as a hunter, I never ever used it. I never ever got out of a fight ever. I stood right there until I was either victorious
Or dead.
dead. That's how that went. Or until my pet died and I feigned death and ran away. I mean, stuff ran away.
How do you know?
So,
I think the
don't you think those? I think our
Yeah.
specs are really good.
Yeah.
I think mine looks to me like it's set up more for
PvE.
PvE. So
Yeah.
dungeons, raids, and just life in
General.
Azeroth.
Mine is probably somewhere in the middle. I have less trap stuff and less
Yeah,
all that. His is heavily PvP with all the bonuses he has to traps.
yeah, I agree.
As well as the dodge and prep.
Yeah.
I do think that if you did like we were talking with the 22 in Beast Mastery and then dump 29 into Marksman, I think you'd be good at PvP and PvE.
Yeah.
I think you'd be decent at both. I'm not gonna say you'd be great at it because I don't know,
No, and it all depends on you.
and it's kind of gonna depend on
Yeah.
you and your play style, and
I would say the exception to maybe troll hunters, if you were gonna go a marksman build, you probably would only want to put 5 points into beast mastery as a dwarf hunter, and put the rest into survival.
dwarf or troll.
Dwarf or troll?
I mean, I'm saying,
start out.
I'm saying, to the exception of a troll hunter.
with the exception.
With the yes, you stay beast mastery because their patrol regeneration plus the beast mastery spirit bond makes your health regeneration insane. If you're gonna play a dwarf hunter because of their gun specialization, I would probably just put 5 points, and that would be into improved aspect of the hawk, and the rest of it would go into survival and down.
I don't know if I would. I think so. I think if you were going to do that, if you're not going to try to get to spirit bond as a dwarf, which not a problem. At the very least, I think you would want to put 5 in aspect of the hawk. At least 3 in thick hide.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 in endurance training, so that they
have more health.
So they have a little more health, and then Unleashed Fury, so they do more damage, and then take improved men pet.
Yeah.
Where's endurance training?
It's the
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I think you should go at least there.
Yeah.
Get at least to that point. That would save you some points, and then you could actually go quite a bit deeper into marksman. But the reason I would do that is because your pet's still going to be your main tank when you're not
PvPing.
when you're not PvPing or with other people, because if you're going to go deep into to marksman, you're going to be ranged. You're going to need to be in range, so that, and that's going to keep you far enough away that you can't do anything to help really. But the men pet will come in handy even in PvP, because you can just kind of keep clicking on it every like 25, 30 seconds or something.
Just have it up 100% of the time.
So that it's up semi-regular at least, to keep like warlock curses off,
Any
priest curses off, because I think priests had curse and weird stuff.
Curse of weakness.
And then poisons from rogues,
bleeds
stuff,
from warriors.
stuff like that. Just so that you try to keep that stuff knocked off of them. Because your pet in PvP will do a crazy amount of damage.
Did they have kill command back then? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know. Some of this we're gonna have to find out when the game actually launches.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see if it's better than Diablo Immortal.
Well, that's not really. Duh, it's gonna be.
It depends on what they do with it.
Depends on what they do with both. In PvP, more often than not, people are going to be attacking you.
Yeah, they're gonna be right on top of you. Hence,
They might fear your pet.
survival's better
Yeah.
for PvP,
Yeah.
which is why we went that way. But to say that you can't PvP as a marksman is wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or plenty
I've
of
seen
people-
marksmen
plenty of
just
people did.
destroy battlegrounds.
Oh,
Yeah, because
easily.
they were able to lay down so much range damage so quickly that it
And
was
they were
bad.
also able to keep people suppressed with concussive shot, as well as the scatter shot. That they were able to drop, warriors and rogues so quickly. It was shocking.
Yeah.
I used to remember a horde hunter. I can't remember what he was, but he would go to the crossroads and just stomp everybody with
both of those paladins.
both the paladins. He would just stomp them because he would flag himself purposely and wait for them to attack him. He would stand right there in front of them and wait. And the first one attacked him, scatter shot, and killed them.
Yeah. Hunters
can be really
are
tough.
pretty scary, yeah.
Because he would scatter shot and then drop
Technically,
the
they can all
trap.
be pretty tough, and it does come down to playstyle as well.
Yeah.
And what kind of gear you can
experience.
find,
Oh,
and what kind of enchant you can afford.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of
ants.
mitigating circumstances
Yeah.
to all of this. Well, I don't know. I think that's good.
Yeah.
We covered everything pretty thoroughly. Oh, well, races that can be hunters.
Oh, okay.
On the Horde, it's orcs, Tauren, and
Trolls.
trolls. That's it.
Yeah.
The
Undead.
Forsaken can't be.
Nope.
Yeah.
And that, and on
The Alliance.
The Alliance,
Dwarf and Night Elf.
And, oh yeah.
Dwarf and Night Elf only. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct.
that's right.
Which, and between those two, honestly, if you go any one, this build or the Marksman build on either one of them, I would probably go this on a Night Elf if I was, to be honest.
Survival?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I was
they're
thinking the
increased
same
the
thing because
dodge.
of the dodge.
Yeah.
Their passive
That makes
increased
sense.
dodge.
Yeah, and
so you probably have like 35% increased
At which
dodge.
point, it'd be foolish not to get Aspect of the Monkey, improved
Yes.
Aspect of the Monkey.
Yes.
Because Night
If I
Elf-
were not going to be a troll, with this build, I would go a Night Elf.
Yeah.
Or a Tauren or an Orc.
I think Torn would be okay.
I think Tauren would be okay too, yeah. They got massive health and War Stomp.
All three of them on the Horde would be okay, realistically,
Yeah.
because Orcs you got axe specialization, and there's tons and tons of axes.
Tons.
Plus they have that deal with their
Command.
pets,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is good. Trolls, they're just trolls.
They're trolls, they're great.
They're awesome. They have regeneration. If you, like Elijah was saying, if you get down to Spirit Bond,
That's going to stack.
that just stacks together, and it's you're gonna
healing
live
for a
longer.
massive amount, yeah.
And Tauren have naturally higher health.
Mm-hmm.
They have War Stomp for standing in the kill box, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
they make sense as well.
Yeah.
And the Troll Berserk, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's
Yeah.
more
And that's
more
good
faster.
whether you're ranged or
melee.
a melee.
Yeah.
I would say for the Alliance, I think the Night Elf should go this build.
Yeah.
One of these builds.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because of the dodge.
Plus
It makes more
they
sense
make
for-
great ambush characters too with their shadow meld.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they have a cat that's in stealth, and if they're in shadow meld, they can
You
just,
just pounce.
Yeah, they can just
lay in wait.
yeah.
It-
And then
That's
I might do that.
That's
I'm
the-
gonna make a Night Elf Hunter. Just
the
That'd
to
be really
dwarf,
fun.
because of their gun specialization.
you'd be silly not to go at least survival.
No, marksman.
Or
Marksman,
marksman,
yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, and kind of the same thing with the troll because they have bow specialization. That marksman build would be good for them too that we were talking about. So we'll
Yeah.
get that figured out, and that'll be added in, and then I think that's it.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. What do we want to do next time?
Oh hell, I don't know. Warlock.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
do Warlock next time.
Yeah.
We'll look for us to do Warlock before too much longer. At some point, we're going to do videos on not Blizzard
things.
stuff. I want to do one on
Warhammer.
Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr because it's just legendary and amazing,
Oh yeah.
as well as Path of Exiles.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Since we're not getting a Diablo, sorry, we're not getting one. Those two are both good options, and we'll do videos on those because they're just both amazing and fun. They're shockingly fun. I'm Talon.
Elijah,
Jonah.
We're B3 Conversations, and
we're out.
done.
Have a good one.